What if I told you a new study was released showing that 81% of retirees believe that the government is not doing enough for them and they should be doing more? The study goes on to show that 64% of people believe that the United States is in a retirement crisis. Drop your comments down below. Do you feel like these statistics are accurate? And if you just so happen to be a retiree or a fixed income beneficiary, do you also agree that the government is not doing enough for you? And do you feel like we are in a retirement crisis? I would say if we're not in an official retirement crisis, we're getting very, very, very close. As I continue to look at all this information and the statistics and the studies and the reports that are released all the time, and there's a lot of people, like a huge percentage of retirees, seniors, and people that are living on a fixed income that are struggling financially more and more every single year. And honestly, the need is getting greater and greater every single year for financial relief and something to be done sooner versus later. It is a massive struggle out there for a lot of people. Anyway, I have this report right here, which I'm going to pop up in just a second so you can see and read for yourself the details of this. This is pretty interesting, has some pretty good details within this. I'm going to pop it up for you in just a second. But anyway, drop your comments down below. Where do you think that we are at in this whole retirement crisis right now? On a scale from 1 to 10, being 1 being, wow, this is the most amazing time ever in the history of the country, and 10 being, oh my gosh, we need financial relief like immediately, right now, distributed to the American people, especially those people that are retirees. Drop your comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. All right, anyway, let's pop this up right here. Feel free to read through the details on this. You can see it for yourself right there. This new study that was just released right now in 2026 is finding 81% of retirees believe that the government is not doing enough for them, and they believe the government needs to do more. Now, it goes on to show 64% of individuals believe that the United States is in a retirement crisis. That's nuts, right? So basically 2 out of every 3 people, just shy of 2 out of every 3 people out there, believe the United States is in a retirement crisis. That's not a good sign, right? We should not have that opinion. We should not have that feeling. People that are retired should be like, hey, these are the golden years. Whatever happened to that, right? Remember that? That whole saying, haven't heard that in years. Oh, the golden years. It's supposed to be the best time of your life. Is that really the case? When 2 out of every 3 people feel like we're in a retirement crisis? That doesn't sound like the golden years to me. That sounds like the bronze years, right? It's not golden, maybe bronze at best, right? Not a good situation. Now, this report also goes on to show that apparently a lot of people out there, retirees, seniors, people living on a fixed income, may not realize a lot of the programs that are out there available to you to help you financially. Now, I want to be fair with you. There's a ton of programs that are out there. In fact, over the last several years, I've talked about many of these programs, most of which, honestly, I've talked about many times. In fact, just the other day, I was out in a separate video. The video was titled something like, Apply Now, Apply Now. And I was talking about billions of dollars that are available through the LIHEAP, which is a Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, as they allocate a few $billions to this program every single year, and the money runs out relatively quickly. It helps people with their electricity bills and their heating bills as far as cooling and heating during the hot months and summer, or the hot and cool months, obviously. But that's what the program is. But they allocate that money and it goes very quickly because they only give it a few $billions per year. But as you can see in the report there's multiple different programs that are highlighted there. Again, like Medicare savings plans and all kinds of things like that. Again, I've hammered that many, many times in other videos. We're not going to talk about that one here. But a couple things that I do want to point out, especially the SNAP program, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, otherwise referred to as food stamps, some people call it as, or some people refer to it as EBT, which stands for Electronic Balance Transfer Cards. That's not technically the name of the card or the of the program, but that is the name of the card. That's just where the money is deposited every month. It's not actual food stamps. But anyway, there's a lot of people out there, like a lot of people that are 65 plus and even 60 plus that are available and eligible to receive food stamps or SNAP benefits that are actually not getting them because of the stigma behind them, as in, I don't want to get food stamps. Here's the deal. The program's there. Over 42 million people get these benefits every single month. If you're low income, take advantage of the program. Why not? It's free money. It's free money that the government wants to give you. How often does that happen? Like never, right? The government never wants to do anything to help people. This is a program, government money, federal dollars, that's there for people that are low income, including seniors, retirees. If you're eligible, why not grab it, right? Again, you don't have to do it. I'm just saying, if it's there for you, why not take it if you can, right? I'm just giving that little suggestion. Anyway, that's one program. I already alluded to the LIHEAP program. That's another one as well. But there's many others that are also available to you. Again, as a retiree, as a senior, as a fixed income beneficiary, there's a ton of the programs. And again, a lot of which that I've talked about, okay? But anyway, please take advantage of some of these that are out there. And again, you can see some of them highlighted here in this article that I had featured for you. But again, here's the thing as well. It might seem like I don't really want to take advantage of these programs, whatever. I don't know if I qualify, things like that. If you're living strictly on Social Security, you're probably eligible for a lot of these programs. Just being fair with you, because by default, the vast majority of beneficiaries are getting less than, say, $3,000 a month. And the average benefit right now is a little over $2,000 a month on Social Security. So point being is that the average person is getting about $2,000 a month, or about $24,000 a year out of Social Security. So by default, your income is probably well within the threshold for at least a lot of people. Definitely not everybody, to be fair. And obviously there's other parameters and thresholds to determine somebody's eligibility on this. But generally, if they use the federal poverty line as a benchmark, which again, I've talked about before in other videos, they use the federal poverty line as a benchmark to determine somebody's eligibility. If somebody's even getting the average benefit of $2,000 a month, which I know for a fact a lot of you in this community are not getting the average of $2,000. I know a lot of you in this community are getting, say, $1,500 or $1,000 or less a month. If that's the case, that means your income is between, like, say, $12,000 and, say, maybe $18,000 a year, if that's your case, okay? If your income is around that range, you're probably eligible for all kinds of these different programs that are out there. Again, many of which I've talked about. But anyway, remember this much as well. I said this in another video recently, which is this. Just use this as a benchmark going forward to determine your eligibility. If your income is below this threshold or even at these thresholds, you're probably eligible for a lot of these programs. It's the federal poverty line. Federal poverty line right now in 2026 is $15,960 for an individual and $21,640 for a household of two. If you're an individual and your income is, say, right around $16,000 or less, you're at or below the federal poverty line. You're eligible for a ton of programs. As a household of two, okay, if your household of two and your income is right around, say, $21,640 or less, you're below the federal poverty line for a household of two. You're eligible for a ton of programs. Take advantage of them. Why not? That's why they have these programs, which, to be fair, they have over 100 different programs across the country, over 100 programs. In fact, over the years, they've talked about eliminating all of these programs, literally getting rid of all of them, and literally just replacing them with a monthly stipend of cash. That's it. Literally saying, we're done with all the programs. We're done overseeing all these programs that have all these rules and parameters and things like this. We're just going to get rid of all of them, and we're just going to give anybody that's eligible just literally a monthly cash stipend, a payment to people, and then they can use the money for what they see fit. I don't know. Would that be way more efficient? Probably, right? Way more efficient than making people jump through a million hoops to qualify and apply for, 17 different programs. It's nuts. All right, anyway, just wanted to point this out for you really quickly. Drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about all this. Otherwise, if you're new here, if you've not done so, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button down below. Please share the video. Big share button down below. Otherwise, check out any other 6,000 plus videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a nice day. Take care. Thanks so much for watching this, and I'll catch you later.